Hey guys, today let's talk a little bit about money. Now, some of us come from situations where we have a lot of money and some of us don't really have that much. But today I want to challenge us and think about where is my heart when it comes to money. And today's devotional is specifically about that. Where is my heart? And it's a heart check that we have to start making with our lives and how we spend our money and how we use those resources that we've been given in our lives. And a lot of the time the misconception about money is that money's mine. And so we'll stuff our wallets, we'll stuff our bank accounts, we'll put all the money in our piggy banks and think that at some point we're gonna reap the benefits. We're either gonna retire on it, we're gonna spend it on a car, we're gonna save up for our mortgage on a house, or save up to pay off all our debt and all these kind of things. But here's the thing, we rarely think about how can I honor God with that money. Now when we look at the scripture from Luke chapter 21 verse 1 to 4, it says, as Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. Truly I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. Now, when I think about that passage, it really humbles me because often, a lot of time, I'm starting to think, okay, how can I give to the church and be more generous to other people? And whenever I give something to the poor people, it's usually not because I love that person or care for that person, because what I'll do is I'll drop in a coin or drop in $5, drop in $10, and then just leave. And a lot of us do that a lot of the time. If you've given to the homeless, this is often what we end up doing. And the problem with that is it's not love. It's not out of generosity. It's not because I love God or I love Jesus. It's because I want to feel better about myself. We got to be really honest about that very thing. And so, where is my heart? And that's a heart check. Is my heart in the right place? When I give money, am I giving money because I want to feel generous? Because I feel guilty? Because I feel bad about not giving money? So, whether it's at church, giving an offering on a Sunday, whether it's on the street, giving to the homeless, we have to decide for ourselves and ask ourselves, where's my heart? Do I truly love this person? Do I truly love God? And that's a hard proposition, and maybe that's a little sharp in the heart, but we have to be honest about that. And we have to ask ourselves, why? Why am I giving? And so the heart that we ought to come back to is of that very woman. She gives 2 coins, which is pretty much chump change to all the rich people who are giving maybe thousands of dollars that day, maybe giving their tithing, maybe giving their offering in ways that are boastful to other people see, like a big maybe bag of change being dropped in. Maybe they're taking heaps of cash. Maybe they're taking like a wad of cash and they're just dropping it in that offering plate. We don't know. We don't know exactly what that situation looked like, but we know for certain that there was this really poor woman would walk in and she would drop merely 2 copper coins, which is not worth that much back in the day. When we look at that woman, maybe she couldn't afford even those 2 copper coins. It was totally out of her comfort zone. And as she gave, maybe she had a certain amount of uncertainty. She may not have enough for the next meal, maybe not enough for the next 2 meals. Maybe that's all that she had left in her purse. For her, that's a big deal. But maybe for this woman, maybe sacrificing 1 meal, maybe sacrificing 2 meals, maybe sacrificing whatever she could have saved up, maybe to buy a better meal, or maybe to buy some clothes, or maybe to buy certain things that she needs around the house, or maybe even to pay her rent. Maybe that didn't matter as much to her. What mattered to her was her worship to the Lord that day. See, these rich people who were coming to the temple, they gave out of their wealth. And they weren't worried so much about how much they were giving to the Lord. And they weren't worried so much whether they would be able to eat the next meal or not. In fact, they were very, very comfortable. And even when they gave, they were comfortable. And that reveals something about the heart of these people. They were giving so that they could look generous to maybe to the people around them. But this woman, she gave even when it was uncomfortable. She loved God more than she loved the money. She loved God more than her life. And that's the question that I have for you, and also even for myself. Do you love money more than you love God? Or do you love God more than you love money? And it's a really strong gauge on our heart when we think about that very matter. Because if we start thinking, do I love God more than my bank account and all this money that I've stored away for maybe all this time? Or do I love this, that all that I've collected and all that I've accumulated? Do I love my house, my condo? Do I love my car? Do I love all my things more than I love God? And so that should check our hearts. When we give to the Lord, it checks our hearts. And so my question today is, can you be more generous? Can you love the church more? Can you love God more? Can you love maybe the person on the street who's been asking for money and you've been walking away from every single day? Or maybe time to time you just dropped a couple coins inside that cup or that basket. But instead today, maybe take time to love that person, take some time to get to know that person's name. Maybe we ought to take some time to get to know the Lord, get to know God, get to know Jesus in our lives, and get to know who He is. And whether that means maybe taking some time and some energy away from making money and doing all these things and being busy with our lives and accumulating things in our lives and fixing our eyes on Jesus. So that's the challenge. And the question that I want to leave you with today is, do you love God over money? Let's think about that today, guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And I'll see you again next week. Bye.
And I know that it's